My girlfriend criticizes everything I eat, and it's hurting our relationship.
Well, stop eating the wrong slop.
My girlfriend, 25 female, and I, 28 male, have been going out for 10 months now, and about 6 months in, I lost my job due to the vid. Because of that, we were spending a lot more time together, and I think that is when she really started noticing my diet. By the way, this comes from PatsFan929, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comment. NOP says, a couple of disclaimers before I go further. First, I freely admit my diet was not the best before I met her. Second, her dad is a diabetic, so I think that's where some of this is coming from.
Yeah, what's the worst your diet has ever been? I'll go first. Corn dogs and goldfish. 3 meals a day. I was 19.
For how long?
Long time.
Man.
More than a year?
For like a month. I was just eating frozen corn dogs and goldfish all day.
The male peak physique and diet right there.
Yes. Peak. The European mind could never comprehend the that I ate at the age of 19.
Anyways, long story short, I changed my diet at her urging quite a bit. I cut back heavily on fried food, down to once or twice a month from multiple times a week.
How high was your cholesterol? Oh my gosh.
He had cholesterol of it.
He was cholesterol.
Hi, my name's Cholesterol.
Oh my gosh, the blind one. That sounds like Carly's dream other than soda.
I have entirely too much popcorn in my diet, but I could
Dude,
be addicted to worse things.
If white cheddar popcorn didn't get kernels all up in my gums that bothered me for like days after I eat it, I would eat nothing but that.
I added more fruits and vegetables, an apple and a banana every day at least, along with veggies multiple times a week, where before it was very little. I also cut back on pasta and added more turkey, chicken, and fish. For reference, I am not skinny, but I am not obese either. If anything, I could stand to lose about 15 or 20 pounds since the pandemic started, but otherwise I'm completely healthy and she knows this. For her diet, she eats exclusively fish, chicken, and Caesar salad while exercising an hour per day. I am unable to exercise that much due to bad knees that I both inherited and previously injured, which she is also aware of.
You know how you fix those bad knees though? Gotta work it out. It's like, I don't know, I'm not an exercise scientist, expert or anything, but it's
I mean, pending how bad he messed up his knees, he really might not be able to.
Well, no, it's like working out the muscles that support the knee and then also the muscles that take the load off of the tendons. The weaker your legs get, trust me on this one, the worse your whole body is. As a man with weak legs, I suffer this every day of my life.
However, over the past month or so, she has started heavily criticizing my diet again, unprompted, to the point where she does it every single meal she sees me eat. Things like, do you really need that much bread? When it would be my second piece at a restaurant and she eats the rest of the basket. Or, you already had red meat this week. Things like that. Whenever I hold firm, she immediately starts acting like a child who does not get her way. She will start blaming me, saying it's my fault we are arguing. She will say she is unhappy and that she cannot take much more of this, and other things that threaten the relationship. I will point out the very obvious double standard, but that only makes her angrier. As this is my first relationship, I do not know what to do, but let it go for the fear of making it worse. I finally decided enough was enough when, on Friday, we went out on a date night that was also a trip to pick up a cake for her parents' birthday at a restaurant that she had never been to. We are from different towns, and she lives 40 minutes away. Also, my mom got this cake and brought it one time, and my girlfriend really liked it. I decided to get the roast prime rib, as I had not had it in a very long time from there. She immediately questioned it, and I stood my ground, but I also got broccoli with it to calm her down.
This is crazy.
She then started crying as soon as the waitress left and said things like, I do not want to be here, I just want to go home. And if you get mad at me, I'm going to call my dad to pick me up. All while still crying.
What is she, 12?
Yeah,
Does
what's
this girl
going
have
on
like
here?
really bad food trauma from her dad?
I'm really unsure, but
From the
it's like,
diabetes?
it's feeling like there's a definite element of control here that she
Yeah.
needs to, you know, whether it's like self-soothing or whatever, like she's got something going on, and by projecting her like desires for your, you know, diet or whatever you eat, it allows her to cope with it in a way, I guess. That's my guess.
I basically told her that this has to stop. I cannot deal with her criticizing my meals every day. Fast forward to after the worst dinner I have ever had, and we made it back to her parents' house. I went to her mom thinking maybe she could talk some sense into her because I had been trying to do it for the past week with no success. And I told her what happened. Her mom agreed with me and basically said to my girlfriend, "You cannot tell other people what to do. It's going to make them do the opposite. And if you continue to do this, you cannot be in a relationship with anyone." Yesterday she was fine and it seemed like she had taken the message to heart. However, at dinner tonight, she went right back to her old self and I feel like I'm out of options. I don't want to break up with her because I still love her, but I also cannot take the constant criticism.
Yeah.
I have a million other things to worry about now, between working a full-time job again that is actually a career and going to school full-time as well. On top of that, I then have to worry about what is my girlfriend going to think about this choice? I know this may seem silly, but it has gotten to the point where 95% of our fights are this issue. I feel like I'm doing nothing but sitting, eating, and minding my own business. I have already done almost a 180 from where my diet previously was, and I have pointed this out to her many times. I feel like if I give in to her, she will just find something to criticize about my next meal, and it will be a never-ending cycle. I am really at my breaking point, and I don't know what to do. Any help is much appreciated. We have some comments, but...
It's a hard place to be in, but honestly, I think you're at a spot where you just have to have a conversation that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you have to put it on the line and be like, look, I used to eat really bad. I'm very happy with the way I eat now. I'm going to eat exactly how I want to. And if that is a deal breaker for you and you can't deal with it, then I think this isn't going to work. And put the ball in her court. And that's all you can really do at this point.
Yeah, if she's criticizing you every time, and she should be kind of supporting you, because if you did a complete 180 of your diet and you changed it, not just for her, but for yourself.
His habits are so much better now.
100%.
Yeah.
And she should be commending you for that and being like, I'm proud of you for doing this, not, battering you down for every time you eat like an extra piece of bread, or like it's, you get a cheat meal. It's very, very, some people are saying she needs therapy because this is...
She does.
Yeah.
She
This
got
is
food
not
issues.
Yeah, I would
okay.
approach it not with, any negative, just approach it very factually, and then also just be curious of like, why do you think, this is happening? It's hard for me to understand why you're so consistently criticizing me for this.
Yeah.
And I just want to know why, because I eat fine.
I think
Yeah.
it's definitely the relationship with her father. That's probably what it stems from, but I don't want to just jump to that conclusion. So
No, I think you're right. It's just because her father had diabetes and stuff that she was worried about. It sounded very deep and therapist-y the way you said it. It was good.
Thank you.
thank you.
What Keon said. It just made me giggle because if people didn't catch the part that her dad was also diabetic, it sounds like you're just saying that she has daddy issues.
She has daddy diet issues.
Diabetes.
Diabetes, indeed.
Well, that could be two different options. That could be two different kinds of problems.
Top comments. Desert Rain says, "This is who she is. You've talked to her about it multiple times and even had her mom talk to her about it, and she hasn't changed. She obviously isn't willing to stop this behavior. Your only real options are to break up, just put up with the constant criticism and fighting, or stop fighting her on it and just let her choose all your meals for you. Personally, I'd break up, but if you don't want to do that, your only other option is to just live with her dictating your diet. She's obviously not interested in stopping her behavior." Deleted says, "I'm a registered dietitian, and it sounds like she has some symptoms of disordered eating. The need to be in control and the obsession with healthy food suggests orthorexia. I am not qualified to make a diagnosis, but I strongly suspect she needs professional help from a dietitian or perhaps a therapist. I'm sorry to hear you are both struggling." And we have an update.
Huzzah!
Yeah, at first I was gonna be like, call her out because she's eating Caesar salad, and if she has like the Caesar dressing in there, like that's not healthy at all. But it was like,
I think she's pretty healthy.
no,
She only eats chicken, salmon and Caesar salad, and she works out an hour every
Well, also that's
day.
kind of crazy that she can't like if that's all she eats, and she like
Yeah.
goes insane. Like, oh
Well,
my
she's
god,
got a
you're
problem
having
with
red
food.
meat.
That's the thing. Like, you can have a problem with food because you're too healthy with
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
Update. First, thank you for all the advice. I honestly thought I would get responses along the lines of, "Deal with it, it's not a big deal." but the advice you all have given has really helped. I had a conversation with her before leaving for work and basically put my foot down for real. I straight up said to her that if this behavior continues, I will be breaking up with her. She said she will stop, but I have my doubts. For those of you who said that she may have orthorexia or another eating disorder, after reading the symptoms, I am inclined to agree with you. But speaking from experience, bringing it up to her or her parents will only lead to firm denials and a refusal to seek help.
Which is crazy to be like, yeah, you show her the cold hard facts of like, hey, you might have this. And she'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Well, that's common. People to just deny that they have an issue when they do.
With that in mind, I have reserved a rental SUV. I have a Camaro, which does not have enough trunk space for my stuff, at my local place for Saturday to bring what I have back to my mom's house, in case her behavior doesn't change. I have also started looking at apartments near my new job, since it requires me to live in the county as a condition of employment on the chance that this doesn't work out. I am not tossing in the towel on the relationship, but I figure it's better to be prepared just in case, and I can always cancel the rental.
Yeah, I was going to say, having a move-out SUV ready to go feels a little bit like throwing the towel in.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
We have an update 9 months later, though. Do you think she fixes her ways or not?
Yeah, I think they're having a baby.
Food baby?
Hopefully not.
So, I know I said I would post an update that Saturday, and I didn't, and I apologize for that. Life got busy and I forgot to do so. Anyways, on to the update. After speaking with her, she actually did stop trying to control my diet. She didn't make any comments about my diet or what I chose to eat. I think me standing up to her made her realize I was serious, and that the relationship was going to be over if she continued with the behavior. This still sounds like you guys broke up, though. Here we go. Long story short, though, we broke up in July of this year over other issues that clearly made us incompatible. I realized that it was a toxic relationship, and much of her other behaviors were manipulative, which one of the original commenters pointed out, and straight up just childish.
I mean, cue the, if we don't leave here now, I'm going to call my dad to pick me up.
Yeah. She and her family were also very entitled and could do no wrong in their eyes since they came from a lot of money. The good news is that I'm currently in a new relationship with someone who is so much better in every way. It's literally like I'm dating the female version of me. We have so much in common, think about things and view the world the same way. It's only been a little over a month of officially dating, but things are going really great so far, and I have high hopes for a future together in whatever form that may be. And by the way, I hope that in the future, you guys will listen to more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left. Any thoughts?
Yeah, well, it looks like you could have just gone with the move-out SUV in the first place.
Sounds like it would have saved us some time.
Hey, but sometimes things just don't work.
Yeah. Glad she stopped criticizing your diet for those last few months, though. It's a plus, I guess.
It's nice. It's nice to be able to not be criticized for things that are fine.
But we got a little bit left. Ooh.
What is the crime? Enjoying a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Democracy Manifest.
This is Democracy Manifest.
The funny thing is, after my breakup, I said to myself and those around me that I wouldn't be dating for a while, most likely into the next year, and then this relationship fell into my lap when I wasn't even looking for one. It's crazy how things work out. Thank you again to everyone who commented on the original post. Turns out most of you were right, that I should have ended the relationship right then. I truly believe, though, that if I had done it, I would not have found the woman I have found now. Was she one of your girlfriend's friends?
Well, no, I mean,
like
it's just, everything that happens.
Timing, but it sounded funny.
Everything that happens leads us to the point that we are right now. Everything that happens, including the French Revolution.
Okay. Relevant comments. Gambling Traveler says, good for you. Please remember this from your earlier post. What is my girlfriend going to think about this choice? Don't date someone that you have to walk on eggshells around. My first relationship when I was a teenager was full of this, so luckily I learned at an early age. You are starting a bit later than I did, so just make sure to remember this. Opie says, thank you. Yeah, I definitely learned a valuable lesson. Chuck Ringslinger says, I take it the ex hasn't made things easy? OP says, the days following the breakup, no, she didn't. Her parents intervened too and made things even more difficult in terms of getting back some of my stuff. After that, I haven't heard from any of them, and I haven't tried to contact them, which is for the best. Dreadful Water says, when you eat and order things in front of the new person, is it relaxing now? OP says, very much so. We like and eat a lot of the same foods. She's also from a different country, so she's been introducing me to some foods from her country.
Nice.
And that's the end of that story.
Very nice. Very
Lovely.
nice.
Found someone that
Being
appreciates
introduced.
food.
Yes, very nice.
Food.
Like Keon, who loves food.
A
I love
succulent
food.
Chinese
Meal?
Same timing on that.
But that's the end of that story. And we got another one.
My rich boyfriend got me nothing for Christmas after I raised his son for free.
Break up with him.
I, 30 female, feel so bratty and spoiled right now because of how my boyfriend, 32 male, treated Christmas and me this year. Christmas! Gift giving and acts of service are my love language, and I know I shouldn't put so much value on it, but I really love receiving gifts on Christmas. My boyfriend knows this. By the way, this comes from user SystemFunny5449, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do, you little goofball, down there in the comments.
Christmas.
Can you let me do what you're doing with your hands?
Christmas.
What?
What were you doing with your hands?
I was being emotive.
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Yeah, wouldn't you like to know, hand boy, hand boy?
Well, Christmas boy.
Let's do a chant
twice.
right now.
Christmas?
1, 2, 3. Hand boy, hand boy, hand. No, you don't get to do it.
This is at you.
What if I like it?
Then we'll have to figure out something else to call you. OP says, I have a large family and buy for everyone. I don't go crazy, but I spend about $1,000 over 8 to 9 people. Money isn't necessarily an issue because I do have a job, but I also take care of our home and my boyfriend's 4-year-old child. So when my paycheck falls short, my boyfriend will cover me. He makes about 8 times more than I do, by the way.
What the heck does he do?
Whatever it is, it's 8 times as valuable.
What do you do? Are you hiring?
But anyway, I love giving gifts and receiving them. He knows this very well, but he also thinks he knows better than me, and he doesn't think I need to buy for my family or that they don't deserve it. Over the past month or so, I've casually and also not so casually dropped hints on what I want. A new perfume since I finally ran out of the one he got me last year, possibly a new vacuum for the house, and the one thing I really wanted, an antique curio cabinet that I found on Facebook Marketplace. They usually go for $500 to $3,000 depending on where you look, and this one was only $200 and in perfect condition.
What? Snatch that up.
I even contacted the seller and spoke to my boyfriend about it, and he kept hinting that I would be getting the cabinet.
That's so depressing then.
Yeah, why is he leading you on about it? That's
Right?
annoying.
I will say I think the vacuum shouldn't be a Christmas present because why is he gifting you stuff to clean? But if that's what you really wanted,
Yeah, I mean, OP is the one who said that they wanted that.
I would just be like, maybe give me the curio cabinet, the perfume, and then the vacuum can just show up later.
Yeah, it can be an anytime deal.
That could be we need to vacuum now. Actually, maybe we should get the vacuum.
Yeah. OP continues, but alas, I came home from spending Christmas Day with my family, and he from his father's. We choose to spend the holiday morning separate with each of our families and then do dinner together, and there's not a single gift waiting for me. He didn't even clean the house or try to do something nice for me as a gift, because honestly, I would have taken a deep cleaned house as a gift. He apparently waited until Christmas Eve to order me one thing and said I didn't get more because I spent so much on my family.
Like he spent so much on his family, or like you?
No.
Okay.
Because I spent so much on my family, you've decided to not get me anything for Christmas? I'm breaking up with you. Just because that makes no sense. And you're trying to, I guess, make a war. Because it's like, if he doesn't like her family, she dropped some line about how he's like, they don't deserve it. So now he's trying to be like, well, you gave them gifts, so I'm not giving you anything. It's like, stop it.
Up with this man.
That's crazy. Meanwhile, I got him a very expensive hunting knife and a new hat, which he complained about the color, even though it goes with all of his clothes. I'm just so disappointed and upset by the lack of effort. My sister and her husband literally went out of their way to get me a Dyson Airwrap because I mentioned how I was saving to get one since my boyfriend thought it was unnecessary. And to have them ask me what he got me and I have to say that I came home to nothing is so embarrassing. I don't know. I understand this is such a first world problem, but I'm just so sad to come home to the lack of effort. It's not even a first world problem. He could have done anything.
I was going to say,
he
this
knows
ain't
what he's doing.
This is not a first world problem. This is just a problem.
Yeah. I'm sad that he knows my love language and did nothing for them. Being told I didn't get anything because of how I gifted my family, even though we have the money, I feel so unappreciated. Oh, so he's saying that it's like the communal money where it's like, yeah, because you spent so much money on your family, you didn't have any money left over for your gifts.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I take care of the house. I take care of his autistic 4-year-old full time. I do everything a good girlfriend should do, and this is how I get treated. I'm just so sad. I'm obviously not asking for advice. I just had to get this off my chest. This Christmas genuinely broke something in me. This Christmas genuinely broke something in me. Sorry, had to do that.
I know you're not asking for advice, but I'm giving you some. Break up.
Yeah, no, that's the move.
Break up. Christmas.
Christmas! Update. I am realizing just how deep I'm in and how blind I've been. I thought this was a one-off situation and things have gotten better, but clearly he's just continued to mistreat and devalue me. I've started reading Why Does He Do That? And I'm nauseous over how spot on it is. I've also scheduled a therapy session in hopes of figuring out a way for me to actually leave this time and not let him manipulate me the way he has continuously done in the past. Wow. I deserve so much more in life, not even in a materialistic way, but just in the way I'm treated by my partner. I hope my next update will be saying that I finally left. This post and everyone's responses have opened my eyes to the changes that need to be made.
I have great news for you. You are the one that gets to make the next update that you left.
It's the ball's in your court.
And you know what to do.
Relevant comments. Comment 1 says, have a heart-to-heart conversation. Tell him how hurt you are by the lack of effort. You need to evaluate whether it was really the lack of effort or whether you really just wanted a nice piece of jewelry. Hey, dum-dum, did you not hear how she was like, he could have cleaned the house and I would have been happy?
Anything. It could have given me a hug and
or
maybe
how he
a
literally
card.
was like, I clumped your present stuff in with your families, and that's why I didn't get you something.
All right, well, OP does reply to Dum Dum here. OP says, I did try to communicate my disappointment, and he laughed at me and said, your gift money was spent on your family. So what do we have to say about that, Mr. Commenter? We had established a budget for my gifts, and I stayed within it. I didn't think me buying gifts for my loved ones meant I wasn't getting anything in return.
Yeah, it's giving financial control.
Yeah, oh my God. So another commenter says, did you get money from him to buy gifts from yourself to give to your family? And just OP says, I send him my entire check every month from work. And he gives me back my money to pay my bills and to spend as I see fit for the household. I don't think he's giving you all the money. It just sounds like he would of course he would take from you. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, like why does it have to go to him to go back to you? Never give all of your finances away.
Yeah, unless it's to your accountant, and even then, double check. Comment 3 says, why are you with him again? What do you like about him? Did he get his child any gifts? Honestly, it sounds like he doesn't even like you. He treats you like a bang maid who raises his kid for him. Do you want to live the rest of your life like this in a constant state of embarrassment and disappointment? My husband got me a Coach purse, a Gucci perfume, and a brand new Hilton pillow because
let's
brag about
Yeah,
it. Jeez,
whatever.
commenter. Pent a girl while she's down.
Yeah, you deserve better. Go find it. Whatever. OP says, at this point, I don't know why. I think I'm just afraid of how my family was right and how I'll have to pick up the pieces. Well, we don't ever want to live in a state where fear controls our decisions.
It's also not about being right. It's about, or being right or wrong. It's about, you know what? What's best for you? And if you're really tired of this and not being treated the way you want to be treated, you can let them have it, sure. But like, you're not trying to prove a point anymore. Just get out of this.
Get out.
Another commenter says he makes 8 times your wage. What do you make? I find it hard to believe. What is it with people?
Why is such haters?
But OP says, I make about $45,000. He brings in about $350K or more, depending on how well the business does. So yeah, it absolutely is possible.
Math, my dude.
Okay, I'm just, okay, here we go. There's another update here.
Yeah, I don't care about stupid commenters right now.
Yeah, okay. So we've got an update 6 days later. Hey everyone, just thought I'd post an update. Hopefully it's allowed. Clearly it is. But I, 30 female, posted after Christmas about how my boyfriend dropped the ball with Christmas, and that made me take a hard look in the mirror and actually be honest about how bad he was treating me and how I felt was not normal for any relationship. Anyways, I started the process of leaving. I was completely honest with my mom and family with what was going on with my boyfriend and how miserable I've been. They've invited me back home with open arms and offered to help me figure out my finances and getting back into real estate. They have been patiently waiting for me to leave him and are ready to go to war for me. My brother offered to go pick up all of my belongings and be there when I pick up my dogs. My mom picked me up today, and he thinks I'm just going by my family to spend a few nights and see friends. I've actually brought all my important documents and belongings with me, just to get it out of the way. I haven't told him what's going on yet because he is very good at convincing me to stay, so I'm still working on how to open the conversation. But I'll figure it out. You should open it and close it in one breath. I'm leaving you. I've had enough. Don't contact me.
And I'm taking the dogs.
And then if he tries to talk, you go, ah, la, 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 la.
I can't hear silly people.
Yeah, na, 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 na. I'm at a point where I can't turn back because my family won't let me do that to myself. And I will always let you listen to full episodes with stories just like this one, wherever you're listening to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever, and you've got access to the whole kit and the caboodle. That's a kit and a caboodle, folks.
What about the caboodle and the kit?
That's not how you say it.
It's how you use it.
We have got some more story here. We've got the family as backup. That's good. No, don't let your pride keep you from being in a better place in life.
Yeah, he is financially manipulating you. A man with $350K coming in shouldn't be taking your entire $45K paycheck.
Yeah, this was a brutally nightmarish control freak situation.
Yeah,
and
that was only going to get worse. Get out now. I like your plans.
Very clearly just full disrespect is all he felt. Breaking up with someone who clearly has a narcissismo tendencies is very difficult and feels near impossible. But I know I will be able to do it in the end. I'm anxious and scared, but I know once I pull the trigger and just tell him I'm done, I'll feel so much better. Just thinking about my life after this whole situation scares me, but also excites me. I want to be free and be loved properly, not just when it benefits my partner. Hopefully, I'll be able to post an update soon where I've fully cut ties. Fingers crossed I keep this backbone that I've slowly developed. We have some comments here. You can do this! Sounds like your support system is ready and able, and if you feel like you would need physical protection moving out, try asking any large male family members or friends you have to come with you to get everything else. I've done it before. The name of the game is silence. If he's still there while you need to get everything. He'll probably try multiple methods of talking to you and your loved ones to get you to stay, but try not to react at all, verbally or physically. If he gets aggressive, make sure you have pepper spray or a taser on you and your loved ones. You've got this, and you'll have a much better start to the year by getting rid of him. I wish you all the luck, OP. OP replies, I'm going to bring my brothers. I'm honestly not too worried because my brother's 6'1", and my soon-to-be ex is only 5'5". Is this the anger of a short man we're seeing?
No, this is just the anger and stupidity of a stupid man.
Okay, yes. I'm sorry. But seriously, I'm so blessed to have the family I do. They're dysfunctional, but they're ready to do anything to protect me and watch me succeed. And you know what? Did OP ever get the curio cabinet? No.
No!
The girl sold it before I could get it. And that's the end of that story.
That's so sad.
Well, sometimes curiosity, I don't know. I got nothing. Yeah, that was a steal of a deal. You can't even be mad that that one's gone. Yeah, that was probably gone the next day. But that is the end of that story. And we've got another one.
I was having a medical emergency, but my boyfriend did not care.
Yeah, no, sorry, babe. I don't have the bandwidth for that.
We have a trigger warning for substance regular use. So I, 32 female, have been with my boyfriend, Devin, 28 male, for what will be 4 years in May. I suppose looking back on it now, there are so many reasons I should have left it at the one night that it was supposed to be. By the way, this comes from Girl Who Loves Cows. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. And I forgot to say, this is from the OK Storytime subreddit.
Yeah.
It's one of you.
You should have left this guy 4 years ago. Like you said, that's my bet.
NOP says, I didn't want to be alone for my birthday, so he made the 3-hour drive from where he lived to my house the day before my birthday. That night, something about him made me want more, and he seemed to feel the same way. But now here we are, almost 4 years in, and yes, I do love him. But the problem now is I have to love myself more than I love him. In November 2019, I had the lap band put in.
That's a thing to make you lose weight.
I really wanted to lose weight so that I could be healthier for my 2 daughters, Lily, who is now 11 female, and Lindley, now 7 female. I had severe complications that my doctor didn't take seriously. My mental health went to heck. By January, I was having surgery again to have my gallbladder removed.
Dang.
It ruptured as he was taking it out.
Dang.
The gall on that bladder.
True.
Did it broach?
By the end of January, my mom, Sherry, 56 female, had filed for temporary custody of Lily and Lindley because of how bad my physical health was affecting me mentally. I couldn't keep any food down and was barely able to keep liquids down. I started drinking hard booze as pretty much the only liquid I took in.
Well,
What?
that's not good.
I made friends with a coworker who was also going through similar issues with her kids. I did the icy substance one time and that was it for me. I had found my new outlet.
Oh, no!
This went on through 3 more surgeries and over a week in the hospital with a severe infection that doctors misdiagnosed for 2.5 months.
Well, this is all really bad.
Yeah. In 2022, I met Devin. I was still in the process of getting clean. When I met him, he made me feel like I was worth something. He told me he loved me like 3 or 4 weeks in, and by August, he moved in with me. About 5 months after he moved in, things changed. The affection, the attention, it was just gone. I tried bringing it up with him multiple times, but each time I was met with irritation and gaslighting. Our first anniversary was awful. He acted like it was just another day. I have bipolar disorder and I'm on the autism spectrum. He knew all of this from the beginning. He would say things to me like, "Why would I want to be affectionate with you when all you do is fight? Everything is always turned around to be my fault. He has cheated on me. He has screamed at me, and he has told me I'm better off alone."
Love that song by Alice DJ.
Break up with this man!
So we're done with that,
But
right?
other
I
than
think
that,
I think we are done with that, right?
We're done with him, right?
We're done
Okay.
with this.
We're done with him, right?
I so badly want to be able to move on, but every time I build up enough courage to finally say enough is enough, life seems to remind me that financially I can't pay all of these bills by myself. I have 2 kids to take care of, and life is expensive. My family is very much on the side of that I need to leave.
So are we. We're your family too.
Yeah, and can your family not assist in any way?
In August, my mama, 90 female, passed. She was my favorite person in the world other than my kids. She practically raised me. Devin wouldn't go with me to see her when she was on hospice. He didn't want to go to the funeral. He wouldn't hold me. The only reason he hugged and held on to me at the funeral was because my sister had to tell him to. His lack of giving an F is what really solidified things for me, but I still stayed.
No.
Right after my mama passed, he lost his job. He didn't find another job until the end of November. That is when I should have left. I have initiated conversation after conversation, but it always just spun around to be my fault. I've suggested couples therapy, but he downright refuses.
So, like, even with his logic that all of this is your fault, you can still leave.
Yeah.
You can just leave with the logic of,
Yeah.
okay, well, it's clearly all my fault, and I'm not at a place where I can fix it or be better for you, so I'm gonna leave. If that's what he needs to freaking hear, whatever. If that's what you need to say, whatever. Just know that that's not true.
Yeah.
And this
You'll
is just
know.
terrible. He's cheated on you.
You'll know, we'll know. No one will judge you. Leave this man. Christmas rolls around, and I ordered him a Christmas gift because I do love him. He had to work that day, so we hadn't done gifts yet. Well, it turns out he didn't bother to get me anything. He went down to North Carolina for the weekend of New Year's. When he came back, he didn't want to address the elephant in the room. We have had spicy sleep maybe 6 times in the last 6 to 8 months. By the way, you guys can listen to months worth of episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
I think you should have spicy sleep 0 times in the next infinity months.
With
because
this man.
we need to leave this guy.
None of it, no more with this man.
And I think you'd probably end up being surprised with how much more you can accomplish without this guy dragging you down constantly, mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
I think so too. You'll feel so free. Yesterday, I started having really severe chest pains that seemed to be radiating into my shoulder to the point it took my breath several times.
Oh, wow.
I talked to my mom and she convinced me to go to the ER. I told Devin I was going to go. He asked if I wanted him to go. I told him that it was up to him. He gets up huffing and puffing about not wanting to sit in the ER for hours on end, saying we wouldn't be staying more than 4 hours.
I love that, that he would just, burst into the hospital room and just drag you out.
Yeah.
We're leaving. The 4 hours are up.
I just laid in bed and cried. He sat downstairs on the couch, smoked some devil's lettuce, and played his Xbox. This morning, he didn't even bother to ask if I was okay. Did you not go to the ER? Today, I sent him a message about how I am done. I refuse to allow him to be the thing that unalives me, both physically and mentally. I told him it's time for me to love and respect myself more than I love him. And now I'm just trying to figure out my next steps. And that's the end of that story.
Well, you got to step 1.
Yes.
Now, step 2 is you stay strong on that. And step 3 is get your support system around you.
Yeah.
Get your family involved.
But hold so strong. Don't go back to that man.
Your family wants this for you.
Yes.
You're like, yeah, I feel like I need to go to the ER. Something weird happened. And he's like, ugh. Yeah, it's not a partner. But you've known this. You've known this for a long time. So
And
good
then
for you
didn't
for taking
even
that first step.
go. But that's the end of that story. And we've got another one.
My brother volunteered me as his babysitter and said my hobbies don't matter.
Well, my hobby isn't being a babysitter.
Is your hobby horsing?
I hope so.
I'm a stay-at-home parent. All of my children are finally in school. I now have the time to delve into my hobbies and learn some new things, which I have been enjoying. During Thanksgiving, I overheard some family members talking about their new bundle of joy. By the way, this comes from user ApprehensiveFox2655. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
We are here to give good advice goofily when we don't have all the answers. We only know what we know, so tell us what you know down in the comments. And OP says, they were asked about childcare, and unbeknownst to me, they said I was going to watch the child. They never even asked me. I looked at them, and they just smiled like it was a privilege for me. I wasn't trying to make a scene at the holiday party, so I didn't say anything. I just gave a look. I do not in any way, shape, or form want to do that. I'll watch the baby here and there, but not every day. Am I the a-hole? And there's an edit. I 100% am having a private conversation with them, which is what I would have wanted them to do. I can and do stand up for myself. I was caught off guard and honestly pissed, and I didn't want to make everyone uncomfortable at dinner. I realize I should have simply said this or that, but it wouldn't have come out of my mouth very nicely. And no, my husband didn't volunteer me. This is my sibling. Some of OP's comments, OP is clarifying that it is my sibling. They do not pay me anything, and we do not live together, and I do not watch any other children. We never had any discussions about me watching their child. They are newly pregnant, and the only conversations we've had are about the styles of the nursery. And in response to another commenter, I'm sorry that I have confused a lot of people here. My brother is having a baby with his new girlfriend. He himself volunteered me to watch the baby. I overheard him telling other family members that I will watch their baby for them. And a commenter says, not the a-hole, but now they think you agree, and that's why you smiled at them. You should have immediately said, no, you won't be. OP says, I didn't smile at them. I gave them a weird look, and they smiled at me. Deleted commenter saying, responding to someone saying OP had no excuse to not just say no, which is crazy because social etiquette is a thing. Just a bunch of chronically online people who don't know that conversations can't just happen immediately whenever or wherever you are.
Right. I like the commenters just also probably would have been mad if in the moment she was like, no.
Yeah. She didn't want to spoil the Thanksgiving for others. Maybe she's too polite. Maybe there's family history. I don't know. People have reasons. Jeez. OP says, you are exactly right. I wouldn't have been nice, and it absolutely would have caused a fight. I didn't want innocent family members thrown into it or feeling uncomfortable.
So the family knew they cornered you. They're like, we can get away with this. She won't make things weird. And if she just does this and like doesn't say no, it's gonna be yes.
Yeah, but then it's like you can just make that a no literally whenever. It's not like you're going to be babysitting tonight.
Even if you fully agreed to babysit and then started babysitting and then said, I don't want to babysit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? You don't have to babysit anymore.
Shy Fidelity says, I mean, you really need to stand up for yourself when you hear things like that. Okay, I'm done with these comments. I'm going to the update. Here we go. Update. I realized some of you were right. I needed to tell them ASAP so they can actually plan daycare, so I called them last night. I calmly asked my brother if he really thought I would be watching his baby. He said yes, because I was home all the time. I asked him why he didn't ask me first, and he said he didn't think he had to, and that really pissed me off. I said I have plenty to do, and that if there's an emergency, I will be there and help, but that I wasn't going to watch the baby every day. He then got pissed and said they planned for me to, and now they have no idea how they'll afford childcare. Well, boo-hoo, that's your problem and your fault.
Yeah.
He is upset because he also needs to work out for 2 hours a day after work.
Yeah, I'm definitely not babysitting for you now, dude.
Dang, dude, you should take your baby to the gym with you. How about
dude.
Get
that?
your baby ripped,
Get your baby
bro.
jacked. He feels now that he won't be able to do that and will mess up his mental health.
Oh.
But they don't care about yours, so who cares?
Oh, boo-hoo. You should maybe have thought about that before having a baby.
And all the who's cried boo.
Boo-hooshki. They work from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., which is not even crazy. And they work out for 2 hours after that. That's around 10 hours. I would have this newborn. Also, dude, you just having a kid, probably going to mess up your workout routine. Not going to lie. Your whole routine's going to be different now. So get used to that fact. So I would be watching the kid for 10 hours. I said, so you're having a baby for me to take care of so your lives don't change. You want me to give up my free time, but you won't? We have talked about how happy I am in this moment with free time. And by the way, you can use your free time to listen to more episodes with full stories just like this one on your favorite podcast platform. Just search OK Storytime wherever you listen to podcasts. And we have a little bit left here.
Yeah. Don't bring your baby to my house, because I'm not watching him.
Yeah, no is a full sentence. Let's finish this story. He said a child is more important than your hobbies, or maybe your own hobbies, since it's your freaking child, dummy.
Your baby.
Yeah, this totally set me the rest of the way off. I said, mine are important to me because I have them. Your child is more important than the gym. It's not up to you to decide what I do with my time. You can work out at home. I said I was sorry, and I hung up. Now it's going to be super awkward, but at least they know now. And
I want you to read some of those comments because some of them were downvoted.
there's some bad comments here. Let's get into them.
I love the bad comments because they're so dumb.
The first commenter says, there's absolutely no way this is real. The update about them planning on OP babysitting and now being upset is too over the top. Like the only reason they can afford a baby is if OP babysits. Yeah, nah, this is fake. You've never met an idiot before? That's crazy. You should look in the mirror. OP says, it's not fake. I wish it was. They can pay for daycare. They both have jobs. It was a tactic to get me to fold to his demands. Have you ever dealt with a self-absorbed person? Honey Amerison says, so they didn't ask and they weren't even planning on paying you?
Did you read the story?
Yeah.
She answered all these questions.
Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with people? Enjoy your free time. Lord knows, even if they are all in school, there's still plenty to do in a household. So you enjoy those few hours a day to yourself. OP says, I guess not. Me being paid was never brought up, just that they couldn't afford a real daycare. Okay. Well, the last one. Wonderful Avocado says, how do they not understand costs involved with a planned baby? Even if it's only part-time, paid care, how do they not understand this? OP says, they will be able to afford daycare. They both have good jobs. He just wanted me to fold by playing the pity party card. And that is the end of that story. Raise your own child, doofus. That's what I would have said, and I would have hung up the phone.
My door will be locked. You're not dropping a baby off.
But that is the end of that story.
But we have some comments. You want to do what you want me to do? Comments are from the video, My Husband's Disgusts Me, Should I Divorce? And it was posted on July 12th, 2025.
Might be a good idea.
TLDR, looks like it's story 1. Opie has been with her husband since high school, and he's a great dad who helps around the house. But over the last few years, she's been getting more and more annoyed by him. He forgets almost everything they talk about, snores even when he's awake, smells bad, talks in a baby voice when he wants attention, and leaves gross stuff in the sink.
What's gross
They've
stuff?
gone to counseling and talked about it many times, but nothing changes. Opie finally told him she feels super lonely because she can't trust him to remember their conversations, and she can't live like this anymore. Now she's waiting to see if he'll actually do something about it or if their marriage is over. If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video.
I don't remember this one.
I kind of remember this one.
I don't really remember this one.
What was weird stuff?
I don't remember that part,
Interesting.
but I feel like I do remember the snoring during the
He's
day
snoring
part.
while he's awake?
I feel
Wake
like I
snoring
remembered
is
this
crazy.
one being like an actual medical issue in the end, unless I'm thinking about a different one.
Everything seemed, I guess, like going over the list here. He forgets almost everything they talk about, snores when he's awake, smells bad, talks in a baby. The baby voice stuff and the leaving the gross stuff is in the sink. That interesting. I feel like we can fix that in a second, or like fix that very quickly. This snores when he is awake and forgets and smells bad. I don't know. Interesting.
It really is.
Huh. All right. Well, we have some comments, which I'm going to read. One second. We have a comment here from Kyogia Brown 6807 and saying, but it is all on him. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make that horse drink. She can't force him to do anything he doesn't want to do. And from her perspective and y'all's, she's in a way is forcing him to better for himself, but she doesn't want to do that. She wants him to put an effort into himself and their relationship, and he isn't. Honestly, it's not immediate divorce, but I won't be surprised if it happens.
Yeah, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it definitely was like she kind of did everything she could have done on her part, and he just was not going further.
Really? Interesting.
Takes two to tango.
It does. We have another comment here by Melissa Sue Mongrain QN1QV saying, OP has said she has been talking to him about this for years. I understand where OP is coming from. He won't listen. I have a feeling he is remembering conversations with friends and family. He has to try and be willing to help himself. He is expecting OP to take care of him. OP needs to show him that this is her breaking point and she can't handle it anymore. We are only human. It can only take so much. Getting him skincare he won't use, or making appointments that he won't keep. He is a grown butt man. He can do it himself from now on.
He's a grown man.
He's a grown man.
He's a grown
Yeah.
man.
He needs to go to his doctor's appointments on his own.
Yeah. Another comment here by Sue Stowe saying, the issue is you can't exercise effectively while dealing with a lack of oxygen. Edited to add, he should have tests. No more excuses about I'll just exercise. Can't fix something if you don't know what's broken. Yeah, like I said, with that list of like the snoring, that's maybe something you need to look into. But everything else seems like you can fix overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
being aware of an effort.
One last comment here by Jody Odell saying maybe he should get some mental testing done. Could he have been having early dementia or a mental health issue? It's strange that he doesn't remember conversations, or, of course, sleep apnea, or he's just checking out at home. You can't change someone else, so Opie has to decide what she wants and who she wants and doesn't want to live with, especially if he doesn't even want to try. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta do something for himself.
He's got to do something.
Yeah.
She pointed out the problems and he just wasn't running with it.
I just hope it doesn't get to the point where like Opie's ready to divorce and he's like, okay, I'll change for you now kind of thing. And like she stops. I hope she just leaves him. If he doesn't change.
Yep. That's the end of those comments. And the end of the episode. And the end of the stream.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you and see you tomorrow. Hey, don't leave. Where are you going? We have more bonus episodes for you to listen to. We think you're going to like them. So stick around. Please.
My ex demanded that I skip a housewarming party because his fiancé is uncomfortable with me.
Excuse me.
My ex, 27 male, and I, 26 female, split 2 years ago.
I just imagine that's what that guy sounds like.
And you did it so well.
Such an annoying thing to ask.
We met through my best friend who worked in the same theater as him then, and the reason we broke up was because he didn't think we were working anymore. By the way, this comes from new material, 7896 on the r/okstorytime subreddit. So it was pretty amicable. I didn't put up a fight or anything, but I strongly believed there was no reason for us to be friends anymore. That always causes problems. But I'm still friendly with his friends, and I make small talk if I run into his parents. We live in a pretty close-knit environment. Don't ask me how. We live in a city, but most of my friends and his come from either the same uni or have a common hobby, or we roam around the same circles, and we definitely see each other once or twice every couple of months. My ex has a fiance now, and I am happy for them. I have never met her until now. I thought this didn't matter or anything. We are all adults, or so I think. One of his closest friends, Peter, just bought a house. I am friends with his girlfriend, and we are both invited to the housewarming. I didn't think anything of it. However, my ex texted me yesterday after like a year, albeit very politely, that maybe I could skip the housewarming as he was bringing his fiance, and she will feel uncomfortable. I was pretty weirded out by his wording, so I called him. He said his fiance feels uncomfortable that I would be anywhere close to him, and the fact that they both feel like I sometimes intrude into their social gatherings. It's not just your social gathering. Just to prove I'm better than her friends. I got pretty mad hearing him say these things, and I asked him in what way. We are not friends, and I stopped hanging out with his friends the moment we broke up to not make things difficult. There were a lot of people in his circle I became close to, but I stepped away just so that things weren't awkward for any future partner. And how was it my fault? My ex explained 2 of his friends didn't like or respect his girlfriend and thought her an airhead, and so did his parents. It sounds like she might be an airhead then. Our circles are, I admit, full of literature and theater people, and I admit some of them can be pretentious. Again, I told him that was him being a spineless boyfriend and not my problem. I told my ex strongly that both Peter and his girlfriend are my friends, and I would be going to their housewarming, and his relationship issues are not my problem. And his fiance sent a long text on how she was sorry, but now I was apparently being vindictive. And how did it matter if I didn't go to a housewarming? She asked me to not make any drama and please respect her.
She's the one making the drama.
She's the one making the drama. So guess what OP did? Didn't reply, blocked her. Bam! Blocked, blocked. My friends are pissed at my ex, and I haven't told my friend or Peter any of it yet. I think maybe I could have handled it any other way. Am I the a-hole? And we do have more relevant comments. Peter's girlfriend and I have been friends for a long time, and we were even roommates for 8 months. Technically, I'm a closer friend to Peter than my ex is, even though they are college friends, because of his fiance's antics. And Pete and another one of his closest friends are drifting away from my ex because he insists on bringing her everywhere, and they don't like her. Out of all my ex's friends, it's only Pete I'm close to, mainly because of his girlfriend. Plus, his girlfriend and Pete met through me, so I am a very close part of their friend group, which is why I was pissed at my ex, because I can understand if he was telling me to skip his best friend's party, but telling me to skip one of my closest friends' housewarming for his fiance, who people don't like there, sounded so stupid.
Yeah. It is.
I know something too says not the a-hole, but you should tell Peter and his girlfriend your ex and his fiancés are wieners. It's not your job to manage their emotions or insecurities. If she's uncomfortable, then she should stay home. Fry One Fat Manic says, I agree. Peter should be told before the ex has a chance to spin this and make OP the bad guy. And OP responds, Peter is one of those people who doesn't like her. Our circle is mainly filled with people who mix with a certain type of bookish thinking. Plus, Peter and another of my ex's friends think she is anti-intellectual. Most of my ex's friends are like that, theater people or really pretentious a-holes. Peter doesn't like her more because he thinks my ex was stupid to break up with me and couldn't handle it if I was doing better than him. Their friendship is already on thin ice, and I don't want to be the reason it breaks. Update! Thank you for all the lovely suggestions in my previous post, which is why I'm doing an update. I did go to the party. Honestly, after reading that, yes, my ex had in fact lost his mind. I decided to not bother Peter or his girlfriend, my friend, and just go and mind my business. It's not like my ex and his fiance would come and scream the house down on seeing me, right? Again, I guess I didn't mention in my last post, the reason I was more mad at my ex was because I have a very serious boyfriend. The idea that my ex's fiance would think I'd go anywhere to spite my ex despite having a boyfriend was really insulting. So we went to the housewarming and I ignored them. I didn't care. We are all adults and I am not going to fuel drama. And my ex and his fiance, her especially, made a fool of themselves. And at some point, even I felt bad because I saw how desperate she was for my ex's friends to respect her or take any one of her sentences seriously. Whoever she tried to talk to ignored her or straight up walked away. Yikes.
Well, I mean,
yikes.
She doesn't sound like a fun time.
Again, Peter and my ex's friends are a different group, and I'm not friends with them. But the way my ex let his friends treat his fiance made my blood boil. I mostly hung out with my friends, Peter's girlfriend's friend group, and I didn't speak or look at my ex once.
This is where you just had the blast, like the best time of your life, like your glow up. Like, yeah. You just look so good. Looks like you're having fun, and you just don't
you're like
care.
laughing in slow motion. You're doing the whole thing, you know.
You do the hair twirl and everything.
Yeah. One time he said hi, and my boyfriend said hello back, and we didn't see him near us for the rest of the night. His fiance just asked me if my dress wasn't a bit too modest.
Wasn't a bit too modest?
Yeah. You're dressing a little bit too covered up. Peter told her everyone there followed the dress code, casual, elegant. Don't ask me, I didn't make the rules. But she didn't. My boyfriend already loathes my ex, so we did not mingle near them again. Overall, I had a good time. We even got to leave early and have some more time to ourselves, watched a movie, and had a good time at home. However, what pissed me off was how much of a crappy fiance he was and how much his fiance was trying to fit in and failing. And he wouldn't even help her. My boyfriend isn't just a bookish person. He doesn't fit in with some pretentious people either, and he's very blunt, so some people don't like him. Plus, he loves video games and comics, and he has hobbies, trekking, diving, which scare me, but we compromise and learn to adjust to each other's interests. Plus, if someone treats my boyfriend even a little like how they treat my ex's fiance, I would cut them off. No questions asked, and I am already low contact with a few friends who judged and made comments about him in the past. I really hope she leaves him. If she has any dignity or he gets his crap together, all in all, not my problem. By the way, what should be your problem is listening to every episode of this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We literally release twice a day. You can listen while you're cooking. You can listen while you're cleaning. Pristine Armadillo 812 says something about the first story, and the modest dress comment has me thinking the new fiance was an affair partner, and she's always been insecure about OP. She's been competing with you longer than you realize, probably. Hill Michelson says, I agree with you. It seems like that girl was the affair partner of OP's ex-fiance. That would definitely explain the competition, the insecurity, why his friends treat her so badly, and why his parents don't like her. Oh, crap.
I would hope parents don't like someone getting with an affair partner.
It would also explain why he doesn't respect or try to protect her. Why would he take someone with no morals seriously? I bet OP's ex-fiance's friends and parents like OP more, and the girls in the group are probably making that girl's life hard out of fear that she'll go after their boyfriends just like she did with OP's ex. OP, keep your distance from them. They don't deserve even a minute of your time. And Surround Miserable 262 says, you handled this perfectly. Part of me felt like she didn't want you there because she didn't want the reality check, because she has now had the opportunity to see how you interact with people, how your boyfriend interacts with you, and how people interact with her boyfriend, and the paradox between your situation and her situation. It's a shame you blocked them, because I imagine if there were messages in backlash to your success versus hers, they would have been glorious to read. But importantly, you don't care. In fact, you have empathy for her. That's great. Shows how beautifully you've grown over 2 years. And Bon42 says, wow, you are genuinely a nice person. After she took a petty dig at you, you are more mad at how your ex's friend treat her than your ex was. I think that says a lot about your character and what a strong and confident person you are. Bravo, OP. And Suitable Park 184 says, not the a-hole for attending, but I think all of your friends sound like pretentious a-holes. A dress code for a housewarming? We have dress codes for our party.
It's called a theme party.
Yeah, like we like say
dress code is like it's just a theme code.
Yeah. We would like say wear fun hats.
Theme.
You know? Cool. Dress code optional.
But being rude and ignoring someone's partner because they're not smart enough or interesting enough? No way. An OP in response to a downvoted comment that claimed she hadn't gotten over her ex says, wow, because having empathy if a person, no matter how they act, is being treated poorly means that I have not moved on. Caring about how others are being treated doesn't always come with ulterior motives. And my being mad at my ex for being a crap human being towards his fiance has nothing to do with my non-existent feelings for him, but everything to do with being uncomfortable with another woman being insulted in front of you. OP taking the high road.
Wow. Yeah.
Tell him off.
But when they go low, she goes high.
She goes high.
That's right.
And that's where that story ends. My friend is entitled, and I finally broke free.
Read the story.
It's parody.
Celebrating
It's not.
2 years of no contact with an ex-friend of mine, Emma, and figured this would be a good sub to share the story of our friendship. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Lantern on the r/okstorytime subreddit. Emma was a victim of bullying, so I became her only school friend. Her parents love bombed me, buying me lots of gifts, calling me Emma's savior, and lecturing me about needing to always support her because she was bullied, etc. I didn't know better at 13 years old, and I was essentially being groomed to be Emma's carer. Ooh, okay. I also met Kate, who was Emma's childhood friend, and we became a cute group of 3. But by college, I realized Emma was falling far behind in maturity. Her mom would ask me to help her, poor Emma, with basic things like catch the bus with her or drive her, even though she could drive. Even when it was inconvenient for me, like when I moved out of home and lived an hour away, her mom would still try to guilt trip me. It became a one-sided friendship. So to help Emma grow up, I started teaching her and asking her to do things on her own. But the problems grew. And there is a story to show that. And it's called The Travel Story. So we traveled with my new college group, and they politely asked me to not invite Emma again because she would wander off to call her mom and get lost. She'd lose things, get scammed, or randomly unpack her luggage in public. She always needed help, and it was stressing me out 24/7. She never pitched in for Ubers or food. The hotel mixed up rooms, 3 people stuck with a single bed, and Emma got 2 king beds to herself, and she refused to swap, which caused further drama. That's crazy.
You're a monster if you do that.
She even interrupted and tried to third wheel my one date with my significant other. She had been with us every other meal. She was leaving endless missed calls, pestering for our location, and wanting me to pay for her Uber to meet us. I cried many times on that trip, and my significant other admitted he dislikes how Emma treats me. By the end of the trip, Emma was still oblivious, insisting my stress was caused by being too uptight. Got another story about how terrible she is. Her birthday. For her 25th birthday, she invites me and Kate to a dinner, but last minute books a 5-star hotel room to stay overnight and asks us each to pay.
Wow.
I declined, saying I already have plans before my dinner and the day after. Kate DMs me privately saying, this is really important to Emma and it'll mean a lot if we did the hotel. Just pay and we'll do things differently next time. So I gave in and paid. During dinner, Emma is unimpressed by my gift. That's just Chanel lipstick. Alexa, is Chanel lipstick expensive? Alexa says it's expensive. Emma says, you guys pay between the 2 of you. I'm the birthday girl.
I would leave. I'd be like, hey, birthday girl, I'm going to give you a great gift. It's called a life lesson.
I say we should have discussed this beforehand, and they both turn on me like, you know, the birthday girl never pays. While they went to other bars, I faked feeling sick, went back to the hotel room, calling other friends and my significant other for support. That's when I decided to stop being friends, which I think, honestly, she doesn't sound like a good friend at all. I left first thing in the morning for another event, upsetting both Emma and Kate because they expected me to drive them home. Now we got another story, my birthday, and the end. I hadn't spoken to them for months, but they eventually reached out wanting to celebrate my birthday. The event went surprisingly well until the bill. I don't drink. They went through 2 bottles of wine and cocktails. Emma wanted me to pay. What happened to the birthday girl rule?
Yeah, excuse me. I thought, are we not being consistent here?
You invited us out. You're the birthday girl treating us to a night out. Hypocrites! And they're the ones who asked me out. We eventually agreed to pay the food 3 ways, and they pay for their own drinks. But Kate's card declined, and Emma never pays, so she forgot her PIN.
No, she didn't.
I ended up paying. Kate transferred me immediately, but Emma didn't, and so began the final chapter. For weeks, Emma kept dodging my questions to pay me back for dinner and some concert tickets she also owed. I even sent my bank details again and started giving deadlines like, please have this done by tomorrow. Her responses would be like, hey, how was your weekend? Or just leaving me on red. The audacity.
Scumbag.
It's so whack. I eventually called Emma asking why she can't pay me back, and she admits she doesn't know how to transfer money. We walk through it together, but she never makes the payment. I chased her again on text, and I'm left unread. Ghosted. I asked Kate for help, and she said that's weird. She always pays me back, and that hurt to hear. I chased up Emma again a few days later, left unread again, and I finally had enough. I sent her both concert tickets and told her to go with her sister because I'm not doing this anymore. And then Emma immediately pays me. Took almost 2 months and threats. She made all these excuses. I'm tired. I don't check my phone. You don't know how hard it is to be a receptionist. I'm a lawyer, by the way. You expect so much from me. This outburst has come out of nowhere. I can't believe you're punishing me, etc. I sent her a long text about everything I had bottled up, including the travel story, her birthday, my birthday being taken for granted, etc. And then I asked for space. Kate calls me and angrily demands I apologize for hurting Emma's feelings. I said, no, I'm not apologizing for this. And I'd like for both not to contact me. A few days later, Emma sends me this big text. He apologizes, but then accused me of being inconsiderate, controlling, and impatient. She justifies never making an effort by saying she's a guest to events and trips away, while I'm apparently in charge. She then says this is all my fault because I should have been clearer and basically nag her more to make an effort, plan, pay, etc., and that I should apologize for hurting her and causing drama. She ends her text passive-aggressively with, since you're so hung up about this and need me to make more of an effort, whatever, I'll plan the next thing. Let's do tomorrow. Where do you want to go? I'll book.
Again, cut off. I'll plan the next thing. Let's do tomorrow. That's not a plan.
Instead, I asked for a month of no contact and she left me unread. A month passes and I get another angry text from her. It's been a month and 1 day now. Why haven't you reached out? I said I'll book this time. Stop hiding. We need to meet up and fight it out. I declined and said the break helped me realize I was happier keeping our distance for now, and I wish her well. Her and her family all immediately blocked me on social media, and that was it.
Gotta love when a problem takes care of itself.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm well aware of the mistakes I made. My boundaries were not strong enough. I fell for the love bombing and shouldn't have felt so guilty about saying no, but now I know to never do it again. Edit, this is for anyone interested in the full hotel story Emma got with the 2 king beds. We can dive straight into this. While 3 girls from my college group got stuck sharing a single, everyone else were couples with double beds, so obviously the hotel got the keys mixed up for Emma and the 3 girls. Emma was oblivious at first. Sucks for them, but my room is amazing. It's massive with a dining table and kitchen. It got awkward and they explained that we needed her to swap rooms. She didn't understand, why my room? So I had to spell it out to her a few times. She refused to swap because she wanted the space in the kitchen. I then negotiated that 3 girls could share her room, and she didn't want to share with girls she didn't know well. I tried to maintain my composure. She had been getting on my nerves all day, and at this point, the 3 girls showed up to negotiate with Emma too. They noticed I was getting agitated and that Emma wouldn't budge, so they said to forget about it. They'll talk to the hotel about upgrading their room. After, my significant other even offered to take the single room so that Emma and I could share our own room, which was an immediate no from me, especially since I was so irritated with her. Well, it turns out the hotel was completely booked out because it's near a huge sporting taste stadium. And the 3 girls and I spent an hour downstairs with one of the hotel managers, and we eventually found out one of the couple's rooms also had a sofa bed that could be set up. The couple agreed to swap rooms, leaving them with a single bedroom, and the hotel could add a spare single to combine it and create a double. But the hotel was short-staffed because they were fully booked and said we'd have to wait until tomorrow to set it up. I can't remember what the sleeping arrangements ended up being that night. By the way, if you want to remember every night how you should go to bed, because the best way to go to bed is to sleep to our voices as they lull you into sleep. You should go listen to our podcast that we release episodes on morning and night every single day, including the weekends. Just look up OK Storytime wherever you get your podcast. However, people observed her over the trip and word got out about the room drama, so they obviously developed opinions about her. When Emma and I argued after my birthday, I mentioned this hotel drama to her, how it wasn't fair to the 3 other girls and other things like never paying or pitching in. And she asked if the whole group knew about what happened. And of course, I said yes. She then got angry at me, texting in all caps, accusing me of character assassinating her, that I gossiped to try to ruin her reputation, which is not true. She did this to herself by refusing to negotiate with the other 3 girls and refused to make any effort. Wild. That's where that story ends. My flatmate almost burned down the apartment, then demanded I pay her fine.
It's the price of their mistakes.
So I moved to a new city to finish my bachelor's degree. This was the last semester, and I needed practical work to gain my last points. I landed a job in Oslo and found a nice place to live, sharing a flat with 2 people. By the way, this comes from Kakas92 on the r/okstorytime subreddit. So, me and the other girl had a lot in common. We both worked in the same field, her front of the house and security in some venues, and I worked as a lighting technician, freelancing in a few theaters as a temp. We got along so well that we decided to move out once our lease was up and rent another place together. Only the 2 of us, just the 2 of us. Around the same time, she got a new job, and she could work from home and make her own hours. Since I was happy for her, she would be home way more than me. We would agree that she could have the biggest room, and rent should still be split equally. A few months into the 3-year lease, she started to change. She got really self-centered, and I couldn't stand to be around her. All of a sudden, she said things like, "I'm better than you.
Oh.
My job is better than your job. I make at least twice what you make. You're a nobody and can't do anything for me." This ended in me not wanting to be around her, and I moved all my stuff into my room, only going out to use the kitchen and the bathroom. She also chose to spend thousands of dollars on new fancy dresses instead of paying me back $25 for the internet bill, saying she didn't think it was important to pay me back and new clothes were more important. Sorry for the long backstory, but I needed to give you an image of how EFM, entitled Flatmate, was as a person. During our last year living together, I was working myself hard. Normal hours for a tech in Norway is 35.5 hours a week, and I was working at least 80 hours for over 2 months with only 1 day off in that entire time span. That meant I was out the door before 7 a.m. and home after midnight. So I showered and went straight to bed. I was too tired to do anything else. One night, I dreamt of a car alarm, and it didn't stop. Then another sound chimes in, and wait, a doorbell. This didn't fit my dream, so I woke up. Indeed, someone was ringing our doorbell, and the fire alarm was going off in the building, central fire alarm. My eyes were groggy, and I went to open the door. It was 4 a.m., and this guy was looking at me. He didn't say a word, so I asked him, "What's going on? Is it really burning?" Remember, I've been working over 200% for 2 months. The guy just looked at me with a shocked face and said, "Girl, the alarm is going off from your apartment." This made me wake up. I looked around, and indeed, our entire apartment was covered in gray, thick smoke. I went to the kitchen as I assumed my flatmate was cooking. No open flames, thankfully, and so I turned the oven off and opened it. Opened all the windows in the apartment before walking into Sleeping Beauty's, he is a beast, by the way, room. She had fallen asleep with a pizza in the oven, and now the fire department, police, and ambulance was on the spot. The police took statements, and the firemen looked in the oven and made sure all the windows were open. Things went on till 5 a.m., and she had to take the blame as it was her fault. Or at least she took the blame. I was offered to be checked out by the ambulance personnel since I had inhaled a lot of smoke, but I declined. Just wanted 1 more hour of sleep before I had to leave for another day of work. I was told to go to the ER if I felt any discomfort throughout the day, as smoke damages can occur late. That evening, mid-second shift, I started having problems breathing. Oh no. So I finished the show, and my boss sent me off an hour early to go to the ER. I was quickly put on oxygen, not even 5 minutes after I arrived, and seen by a doctor 2 hours later. My throat was swollen from the smoke, but thankfully no lasting problems, and just 3 weeks of breathing heavily. No lifting. Remember, I'm a lighting technician. Heavy lifting is 60% part of my job. My bosses were really nice about it, and I got to take it easy the next 3 weeks. Okay, that's good. That's good. After hours at work in the ER, I came home to entitled flatmate. She demanded I pay half the fine she got from the fire department.
That's your fault. You have a crappy roommate.
Yeah. I mean, she could have unalived me. And now she's expecting me to pay $600. We were close. I exploded. To all of you wanting and dreaming about going off on entitled person, it felt amazing. I went on heavily worded anger spree and told her she could have had me unalived. She could have burned the whole building down. She had my throat swollen, and she wanted me to pay $600, even after ranting on how much more money that she made than me and that I was basically trashed for making so much less than her. I basically told her to punch off. She stood there like an idiot, not knowing what to say as I went to the bedroom to try to calm down and get some sleep. Well, it's now 2 years later, and I'm glad I bought my own place. I'm never having a flatmate again. She has tried to reach out to me during this time, and I've just ignored her. She isn't worth my time. Darn tootin'. I have so many stories about this girl's entitled behavior since she got that new job. I believe you treat people the way you want to be treated, regardless of their work situation. Just because you got a better paid job doesn't mean you get to treat me like a cool guy. Just FYI, I love my work. I love being creative and making shows magical through lighting. I actually get to do my passion for a living. So I'm back again with another story about my entitled ex-flatmate. I'm now a 29-year-old woman who works as a lighting technician in Norway. At the time I lived with this girl, 6 years older than me, I only had a 50% steady job. The rest was on and off and seasonal. Welcome to the hard lifestyle of a TV, theater, and event technician. My last post was the last straw for me, since she had done this before, but that time I came home from work in time to stop the fire department from coming. I already answered some comments about leasing with her for 3 years. I know it's a long time. This was after we had already lived together as good friends for 3 years in another apartment. The only thing that changed was the fact that she got a new job and suddenly became too important to talk to people like me, commoners, as she could only talk to actors, filmmakers, and producers. She once told me that I was not allowed to go to a party for TV and theater workers because she might go. I can't with her. That's another story.
I hate that so
Dude, the
much.
posturing is crazy. As said, we had a 3-year lease. It couldn't be broken with a 3 months notice, but we both were on the lease and she didn't want to. She had almost the entire flat to herself. I stayed in my room, yet paid half of everything. She had the living room almost all to herself. She often chose to sleep there instead of her own room. When we got close to the end of her lease, I tried to do the adult thing. I sat her down to talk to her about my plans moving out, and it went something like this. Me. I've been thinking about what to do once our lease is up, and I'm personally ready to buy my own place. My bank has approved my loan application. And entitled flatmate says, OMG, cool. Let's start looking at apartments. I will not live in an old one. It needs to be new. And as she went on, I was shocked. She thought I would buy it for us or with her. And me, I'm looking for an apartment for me. Entitled flatmate says, are you serious? You won't buy with me? What am I supposed to do then? You know what? It's fine. I make so much more money than you, so you will only be able to buy an old crap one. Mine will be so much better because I have standards. Me. Good for you. I got up and walked away. She was fuming since I didn't give her the answer or fight she wanted. By the way, you should give us the answer that we want by listening to our podcast that we release on every single day. And the great thing about a podcast is you can just put it in your ear holes and do other stuff. So a month later, I bought my first apartment. It's small and from the 50s, but it's mine. The payments go to building my own future instead of throwing money at a landlord, which we don't like to do. We like to build equity, baby.
It's true.
She happened to see some pictures of my apartment after I bought it. She came to me and told me how ugly and old it was, that she was going to live so much better than me. And me, this is what I say, well, that's your choice. I hear you're going to spend $1,500 a month to rent a high fashion apartment that's literally throwing money out the window, saying you want to buy your own ASAP. FYI, my apartment might be old and small, but my total a month is $1,000 with everything included.
I'll take that,
And
dude.
most of it goes into my property, which will only increase in value. It's already gone up $50K in 1.5
Yeah,
years.
did you take that deal?
I take that deal.
I take that deal. It's a damn good deal.
That's a
It's
damn good deal.
good deal.
It's a mighty fine deal.
First-time apartment, and once I'm good and ready, I can sell it and buy a new one. That's called real estate investing. It's the smartest way of saving, in my opinion. Her face was priceless. She looked shocked, then mad, and entitled flatmate said, I'm going to live better than you. I couldn't help myself. I looked at her with a poker face and said the words that angered her more than anything. Good for you.
Indeed.
And I walked away while her head looked like it was about to blow off. She is still renting that place, telling me about it in messages I don't apply to. And that is where that story